A lot of fun.
We had a lot of good times on those docos, I tell you.
And that was one of the last...
That's about the last documentary we made with the family, with Steve and the kids and Terry together.
So you're the manager, you're the producer, but you're the mate.
How
are you going to cope?
I don't know, I thought my life ended on Monday, you know. I had a horrible feeling that, you know, everything comes to an end, nothing's forever. And Steve was such a big part of my life that I thought, this is the end for us, you know. I think I died with him,
But as a mate, not forget the business, as someone you can just talk to.
Yeah, he was terrific. He and I, we had a partnership made in heaven. He did his thing, I did my thing. He never questioned anything what I said. He always listened to me. He took advice. He was just a dream to work with.
You've jumped up on the American networks over the last couple of days because they've come to you, because there's such an outpouring of support for him. But is this to keep you busy?
No. I feel that there's no one to really talk for the family and for people close to him, because there's so much grief. And I feel that in this country, as there is around the world, that people want to know more, they want to feel more of it. And I feel it. And I feel I can convey something about him and how I feel. I hope people can reflect in that with me.
John, almost every time you've cried.
I'm a softie, but Steve was the softest person. He and I were very similar in that regard. He'd cry, he'd wear his emotions on his sleeve really quickly. He said to me when I landed up in North Queensland the other day, and he was there in the car on a little dirt strip waiting for me to arrive, and I had my hand at the window and I waved, and as I got out of the plane to meet him after not seeing him for a month, and he hugged me and he said, "John, I cried when I saw your face at that window of that plane. Thank God you're here." You know, it was just, we had a great bond.
How did he get around the States? He was so famous. How could he go anywhere?
He had a great disguise. He devised all this himself. He went to the dentist and got these big buck teeth made for his mouth. He got big Coke bottle glasses. He got a US Army AJ hat thing. He wore a yellow T-shirt and blue board shorts and his boots. We'd get off the plane, he'd put all this on, and we'd walk down the concourse of the American airports, which are really bustling, and everybody that was walking the other way would all divert their look. They couldn't look at him. I couldn't look at him. I used to say to him, "Steve, don't talk to me. I can't look at you. It's terrible." He was unbelievably ugly.
And he'd do that regularly?
Every time. Yeah.
Otherwise?
All the time. As soon as he got on the plane, he'd take it off, because we'd always get him row 1A, so he could sit up the front and no one could see him. But as soon as he sort of got up to go anywhere, because, you know, the autographs drive you nuts after a while. I mean, you know what it's like. You can do so many, but you just want some private time every now and then. So he'd put the disguise on and people would come up and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Irwin," and they'd look at him and say, "Oh, sorry, we've got the wrong man," and they'd run away again. It was great.
He was a hit on all those big American talk shows, and of course, but they don't get much bigger in America than Jay Leno, who a short while ago put this tribute to Steve Irwin to air right across America.
Steve was a frequent guest on this show, and I have never met anyone who had such a passion for enthusiasm for life. You know, he was that way off stage. You know, out here but you go, "Hi, Steve." "Crikey, Jay!" He was always up. He was probably the greatest ambassador Australia ever had, and our thoughts and prayers go out to his family. And I want to share with you, I just thought it'd be nice to kind of show you some of the good times we got to have when he came here. Take a look.
These are only 7 months old.
Okay.
That's Wendy, and this is Casper. Sweetheart, you can't go in that pouch.
You can't go in that pouch.
Well,
Here we go. Hang on.
Maybe.
Hang on.
Maybe she can. Let's get him up on your desk.
Oh, yeah, put him on my desk. That's a great idea.
They're actually the largest venomous crikey. I'm in the strike range here. Woo! Look at that wingspan. You know, they got a wingspan of 10 feet.
Now, he looks pretty angry.
Yeah, he is, mate.
Yeah, good.
Oh, there's my boy. All-time favourite animal over here in the US, apart from alligators. I love beaver.
Yeah, I'm pretty fond of beaver myself.
Yeah. Don't mind a bit of beaver. And so when they jump into their pouch, they curl up in a ball like that.
Well, I don't want to check his pouch. And then...
Oh, there.
I don't want somebody checking
see that there?
Oh, that's what it is. That's the pouch?
No, that's his testicles, mate.
Oh, all right.
Her name's Daisy. Isn't she cute? And she's gorgeous. Yeah, go on, give her a kiss. She's peeing on you. Oh. Sorry about that. She's dead set in the ambush position,
Well, she wouldn't eat this, would she?
Try.
He goosed him as he went by.
Jay and Steve had a great rapport. Steve had tremendous respect for Jay and vice versa. They used to get on really well together, and they'd bounce off one another, which made those things very funny.
He was on the show every time we went to the station, wasn't he?
A lot
How
of
many
times. Oh, 17 times we'd done the show. They would have him on every month if we lived over there.
Yeah.
They were very keen to have him on.
And obviously, for talk shows or for daytime shows, the animals are made of the show. You know they're going to do something they're either going to pee or do something, aren't they?
Yeah, always. The big thing about the rehearsals that we'd do, because of animals, we had to sort of block the show before we went on, before the show went on. Steve would go out onto the stage where the set is, and he would go through the routine of, this is the box, and I'm going to take the snake out there. He'd look at all the cameras, he'd watch the monitors, and he'd say, "Oh, Margaret," who was the director upstairs, "I don't think I'm going to work to that camera. I think you should get camera 3 around, and I'll do that. And bring the crane camera in over here, and I'll get over the top of it." He actually had the studio totally working to himself. It was terrific. He was a very clever man.
All right, we'll have more in our tribute to Steve after the break.
Huge, big plate head. I guess that's orangutan. But get out of my jungle. Ow, 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 ow.
I'd like to roll her over just to examine the other side, but the other thing is sex.
Not now.
Just